we're moving on to our next few concepts. So the next concept is going to be talking about increasing, decreasing versus positive and negative. Because normally when we think of increasing, okay, that's positive, and same with decreasing and negative. But when it comes to polynomial graphs, they represent two different things. So you can have a polynomial graph that has a decreasing interval, but that interval is also positive. Kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but it is how polynomial graphs work. So the first thing that we have is increasing and decreasing. So an interval is considered increasing when you travel from left to right as you travel from left to right on the graph, it is going up. So I'm going to start all the way here on the left, and I'm going to trace over all our increasing intervals. And those are the ones where we're going up. So if I start here on the left and I start tracing, I'm going down. So that is not, but right here at A, from A to B, we increased. So it is going up. Then from B all the way down to D, we're going down. But from D to E, we're going up again. And from C all the way up, we're going up. So those are all our increasing intervals. For decreasing now, we're doing the same thing where we trace, but now we're going to be going down. So if we start at the top, I'm tracing it down. So this is going down. And same with from B all the way down to D. We're going down. So I have my increasing intervals in pink because they're going up, and my decreasing in blue for going down. Now let's talk about positive and negative. Positive is when an interval is considered positive when the function is above the x-axis. So the x-axis determines when things are positive or negative. So above the x-axis is positive, and then anything below the x-axis is negative. So as you can see, there's a lot more intervals on this graph that are positive than there are negative. So that is the difference between the increasing, decreasing, and positive and negative. You're going to have to identify both on a graph. So let's do that. So we want to identify what is true about each graph. So what is true about the graph on the interval from point D to point E? I'm going to use a highlighter. Here's D. Here's E. So here's our interval. So I first like to identify if that interval is increasing or decreasing. So if we trace from D to E, we are going up. So this is increasing. And now we have to determine if it's positive or negative. If we look at the x-axis here, this interval is below the x-axis, meaning it is negative. So this is an increasing negative interval. All right, next. This function now, on the interval from negative infinity to point A. So negative infinity just means the left arrow. So we come from the left arrow to A. So now we're going to do the same thing. We trace. This is going down. So this is a decreasing. And again, For positive or negative, we look at the x-axis. It is above the x-axis, so it is decreasing positive. So that is how you determine the characteristics about the intervals.